In this video, I'm gonna go over 3 new machines added in HBMs mod, namely the RTG radiolysis machine, the industrial liquefaction and the solidification machines. Additionally, we are gonna also take a look at some of the smaller updates that have been added. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So we are gonna start this video with the RTG radiolysis chamber, and then we are gonna move on to the other two machines. So this right here is the radioisotope thermoelectric generator or RTG and radiolysis chamber. This is how the internal GUI of the machine looks like, and the tooltip says that this RTG is more efficient than the other RTGs and it comes equipped with a radiolysis chamber. Now currently there is no heat in this RTG, as in order to produce heat you need pellets. Those are the radium, uranium, plutonium, strontium, cobalt, actinium, americium, berkelium, polonium, gold and finally lead. As you can see, all of these pellets produce different amounts of power and heat alongside with it. So now if we take a look at the exterior of the machine, there are total 4 access ports that you can use in order to transport or basically input or output energy and also fluids in them. So we are going to start this one with the plutonium pellet. Now as you can see, by placing one plutonium pellet, I got 10 heat. By placing another one, 20. So as you keep on increasing the amount of plutonium pellets in there, the amount of heat and the power produced will increase. When it is completely filled with plutonium pellets, the heat level will reach up to 100, which is I guess required for the radiolysis, and also there will be power produced. But this power won't go anywhere. Well, the reason for that is because it has a power switch in between the circuit. Now here comes our second point. This was the normal power switch which used to be activated manually by the hand, of course, and it had no effect of redstone signal. So even if I flick this lever on and off, you can see that it doesn't turn the power switch on and off. Well, that's where the redstone power switch comes into play. As you can see, we are currently giving no power to this battery from the RTG. But if I just flick this lever on, that will give a redstone signal to the redstone power switch, and this in turn will start powering the battery. So this is how the redstone power switch works. Pretty handy for making complex circuits where you want something to happen via a redstone signal. Now let's take a look at the recipes that the radiolysis can produce. So here we have diesel that can be produced or that can be made into kerosene and petroleum gas. Then we have the bitumen, which can give us crude oil and aromatic hydrocarbons, an important thing. Next up, if we scroll some pages, we get natural gas, which can be made into petroleum gas and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now this reminds me that the oil refinery has a different function now. So the oil refinery can now process two types of things. It will take in hot crude oil, but when processed normally, it will give you the same things it used to give before. But when processing the cracked recipes, it will give you cracked naphtha, cracked light oil, aromatic hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So yeah. So here's a quick example of the radiolysis chamber doing the cracking recipe. I'm gonna give it some natural gas, and as you will see, the natural gas will be then processed into unsaturated hydrocarbons and petroleum gas. So you can use any 4 of the ports in order to input or output the gases or liquids. That is how the RTG chamber works. And there we go. It should start filling up with natural gas, and we are getting petroleum gas and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now let's come to the other two machines, which are the industrial solidification and industrial liquefaction machines. Both of these machines kinda work in synergy, like they need each other, sort of. Now you can use the ports on the side in order to power them, but they also have ports on the top. So I'm gonna use them in order to power these machines from the RTG. Now first let's take a look at the liquefaction machine. Here if I place some stone, let's say you have some cobblestone lying around and you have no use for it. Just place the cobblestone and it will be processed into lava. So the industrial liquefaction machine can convert stone into lava. As for the upgrades, it can take the speed upgrade and the power upgrade. The power saving upgrade, that is. So stone can be converted into lava. Now what do you do of this lava? Well, if you want to, you can store this lava. Or another thing that can be done is that you can pump this lava into the solidification machine. So if I get some lava fluid identifiers and place them in the solidification machine, you will see that this machine now accepts lava. And let's place the speed and the power saving upgrades as well. And here comes the fluid duct. So just connect any of the ports on the sides of this machine with the other machine. I think they also work with the thermal expansions item ducts. They should work. But yeah, for now, as soon as it starts pumping lava in, it will start producing obsidian. So basically, you can produce obsidian from stone using these two machines. Pretty neat, right? Now, another recipe that you can do is use rotten flesh or any other eatable material and convert it into salient green. So this is the mixture, or this is the liquid that will be produced when you place in any eatable item. So let's say I put in an apple, for example. So the apple will give much more salient green than the rotten flesh will, as the apple is actually fresh. So different foods will give you different millibuckets of this mixture. But then what you can do is actually pump this mixture into the solidifier. So here goes the duct, and as soon as the salient green starts coming in here, you can convert this using the solidification into an algae vapor. Now these vapors can be actually consumed like any other eatable material can, and they will heal you. So you can combine this entire setup with a mob farm, or if you find a zombie spawner in your world, you can use this setup in order to get free food forever. Now another cool thing that you can do is actually turn ice into water and then pump that water back so that you can produce ice. Now why would you do that? I don't know, but yeah, this can be done. So ice can be turned into water, and then water can be pumped back up and turned into ice. So that's another one of the recipes. And finally, the coolest thing that you can do here is actually with ender pearls. So if you place the ender pearls in the liquefaction machine, it will be converted into ender juice. Now this ender juice can actually be stored in tanks and stuff like that. So if you actually pump this ender juice back into the solidifier, then you will get your ender pearls back. And anytime now, there we go. So this ender juice is now being converted into ender pearls. But there is another way to do it. Here I have some empty experience bags, and if I right click with them, I will actually take away my experience and store them in these bags. So I now have my experience stored in the experience bags. Now these bags can be directly used, or they can be used to store the experience inside tanks. Once you have the experience juice stored inside the tanks, you can treat it like you would treat any other liquid. So you can use it to basically pump it into a chemical plant, or just store it for some future use. Now this chemical plant right here has the ender pearl synthesis recipe inside it. So ender pearl synthesis requires diamond powder and some experience juice. So it will accept the ender juice, or sorry, the experience juice that we have pumped inside it. Now in order to obtain some diamond powder, it's pretty easy. Just place some diamonds inside the shredder and they will give you diamond powder. When both of these are combined, it will produce some ender juice. So if you have no ender pearls to begin with, then you can make ender pearls like this. This ender juice can then once again be pumped into the solidifier or the solidification machine, and it will start producing ender pearls for you. So yeah, that's a pretty neat way to get some ender pearls from your experience. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, support the channel, then do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Peace out guys, stay safe.